Hi, it's Ashleigh from Sweet Dreams Bake Shop, and welcome back to my channel where I make a lot of cake and cookie decorating tutorials, as well as give a lot of baking business tips. And as per usual, my pricing for this cake will be at the end of the video. And in this first portion of the video, I am filling and stacking my cakes. This is Italian meringue buttercream with a cinnamon cake, and those crumbles in the middle are my oat lace cookies. They're so divine. It kind of tastes like caramel mixed with oats, and it's going to add a really nice crunch and warmth to this cake. Now, I've seen this cake design several times over. It especially started popping up right after the unicorn phase, but I wanted to do my own little take on it by making it all kind of these neutral, cool white and silver colors, mixed with a little bit of gold. So to get this white buttercream, I just added a hint of purple, just so it had that little bit of a gray tinge. Then after crumb coating and letting it set in the fridge and then covering it again with some more of that buttercream, I added on these sprinkles directly. Now if you're using an Italian or Swiss meringue buttercream, you have lots of time to put these sprinkles on. I do find with American buttercream, you need to do it right away. Then I'm taking a classic 1M tip here and creating these rosettes. Basically, if you've never piped a rosette before, you're going to start from the center and you're going to work your way around. I always work my way around counterclockwise. Now, when I first started doing this, I would make this little peak in the center instead of creating the rosettes. That happens because you don't start from the center of the flower. So you want to make sure you start from the center and then work your way around, or else it's just going to look like a spiral. Time for the fun part now. Get creative with this. Add whatever sprinkles you want. You could also definitely do different colored rosettes. Like I said, I wanted mine to be a little bit monochromatic looking, so I went with just that whitish, silverish color, plus some of these gold sprinkles and some of those really large silver sprinkles as well. Now I'm taking some satin ice fondant to create the little ears. I really want to keep this quite simple, and I don't want to go too thin with those ears, because if you go too thin, then it makes it really hard to just stick into the cake directly. And all of the fondant pieces that I'm making, I'm not going to dry or anything before I put it on. So as you can see, that little nose that I made there is a little bit slightly thicker. I don't want to go too thin with that because then I have to get out my cookie cutters and everything. I can just put it directly on there and have it the shape that I want it. To create the eyes, I kind of made a thin worm-like structure with the fondant, and then I just stuck it on in whatever shape that I wanted. Now to create the antlers, I do have to flatten it out a bit. This won't work if I make it super thick because it does need to stand up. And then I'm just taking my X-Acto knife and cutting it freehand. You could use a stencil if you want to. And then I'm using a lollipop stick or a cake pop stick and sticking that behind and adhering it with a little bit of fondant. Now this particular brand of fondant normally can't stick together like this, but I find the sparkle fondant can actually do this really easily. And you want to make sure that that stick stays fairly up tall on that antler, or else it's just going to flop over. I was quite pleased at how well this cake matches with my decor. I'm really into the silvers and the whites for Christmas decor. Now let's get into the pricing of this cake, and the pricing for this is pretty straightforward. This is very common to get a request for a cake that's mainly buttercream with some fondant details. It would be $115 Canadian for a 6-inch, and as a stock order, if I were to carry these on hand as is, $100 Canadian each. Now let's get into the subscriber submission of the day. I think this is such a gorgeous cake. I love all of the colors, and you guys know I'm just a sucker for gold. So definitely go and check them out on Instagram. And if you want to be the next subscriber submission of the video, then please follow me at SD Bake Shop on Instagram, where you can either tag me in a photo or send me a photo of your favorite dessert creation. Any and all levels are welcome. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you can be part of the Sweetie fam. Right now, I'm uploading weekly, so make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when I upload. Also, be sure to comment, request, or ask a question. I love hearing from you guys. Bye!